$180,000. That's what one guy in suburban Ohio made last year. Not from real estate, not from some app he built, not from a side hustle that took 3 years to break even. Just from washing cars that are in people's driveways. He started with a pressure washer from Home Depot, a handful of microfiber towels, and $600 in supplies. There was no storefront, there was no staff, no business loan. Just him, his truck, and a neighborhood Facebook group. Within 8 months, he had a wait list. By month 14, he hired his first employee. By year 2, he was running 3 vans and making more money than most people do with a college degree. This is the mobile detailing business, and today we're going to break down exactly how it works, what the real numbers look like, and the one shift in thinking that separates the guys who stay stuck doing it themselves from the guys who actually build something worth owning. Now, the mobile detailing business is not new. People have been washing cars in driveways for as long as cars have existed. But something changed. Think about it from the customer side. You're a busy professional. You've got 2 cars, 3 kids, and a calendar that's already overbooked. The idea of driving to a car wash, sitting in a waiting area for 45 minutes, and then pulling out with water spots still on the windows is pretty annoying. Now, imagine someone shows up to your house while you're on a work call. They detail your car in the driveway. It looks better than the day you drove it off the lot, and you didn't have to go anywhere. That's not a car wash, that's a luxury service, and people will pay for it. The average mobile detail runs between $150 and $350 depending on the package. Interior only, exterior only, full detail, ceramic coating, paint correction. There's a very real upsell ladder in this business, and the customers who care about their cars are not really price shopping. But here's the thing most people don't understand when they get into this. The car is almost irrelevant. You're not really in the car business, you're in the convenience business. The customer paying you $200 to come to their house could go to a professional shop for $150. They're paying you the extra $50 not to have to go anywhere. That distinction matters more than anything else in how you price, market, and scale your business. The guys who stay stuck in this business think like detailers. The guys who build something think like business owners. Here's what that looks like in practice. The detailer mindset. Show up, do the work, get paid, repeat. Here's the business owner mindset. Build a route, lock in recurring clients, hire someone else to do the work. You run the operation. The shift happens when you stop selling one-off washes and start selling subscriptions. This is the move. Instead of asking a customer, want me to detail your car today? You ask, want me to come back every 2 weeks and keep it maintained? At $80 per bi-weekly maintenance visit, a single client is worth $20,000 a year. Get 20 recurring clients and you have $41,600 locked in revenue before you book a single new job. That's a business. A one-off wash is a hustle. The best operators in this space run what's called a route model. Same neighborhoods, same days, appointments stacked back to back. If you're doing 6 cars in one neighborhood on a Tuesday, your drive time drops to almost nothing. Your cost per job drops. Your effectively hourly rate goes up. And here's the part nobody's talking about. When a client is on a bi-weekly maintenance plan, you're not trying to make their car look perfect every time. You're maintaining it. A single visit takes 30 minutes instead of 2 hours. Your revenue per hour skyrockets. Now that's the system. Most people never build it because they're too busy taking whatever jobs come in. Now let's talk the real numbers. A single detailer working 5 days a week can realistically do 4 to 6 jobs per day. Call it 5 jobs at an average ticket of $180. That's $900 a day, $4,500 a week, around $18,000 a month in revenue. Now your costs. Supplies run about 3 to 5% of revenue. Call it around $700 a month. Insurance, roughly $150 a month. A used cargo van, $400 a month financed. Gas, $300 to $500 depending on your market. Total overhead is under $2,000 a month. That leaves you around $16,000 in gross profit working by yourself. Although you hit a ceiling pretty fast as a solo operator. 2 hands, 1 van, 8 hours of daylight. There's only so many cars you can do. The operators who break through that ceiling hire. A detail tech earns $18 to $25 an hour, or you structure it as a percentage deal, usually 35 to 45% of the job. You bring in $180 for the detail, you pay your tech $72, and you keep $108. You cover the van, supplies, insurance, and at scale, you're running 3 or 4 vans while managing the schedule from your phone. 3 vans, 5 jobs per day. At $180 per job, that's $2,700 a day, $13,500 a week, $54,000 a month in revenue. After labor and overhead, the owner is taking home somewhere between $12,000 and $18,000 a month, depending on the mix of recurring versus one-off clients. That is the ceiling for the standard model, and that's not a bad ceiling. The high-end market looks even better. Detailers in affluent areas charge $800 to $2,000 for full paint corrections and ceramic coating jobs. 1 van, 2 appointments a day, $1,200 average ticket. That's $240,000 a year in business just by yourself, with room to move up market and shrink your hours as you build reputation. All right, as per usual, let's go into the key lessons. And here are 3 things that the best operators in this space do differently. First, they pick a lane and go deep. Either you're the affordable, high-volume route operator, or you're the premium, high-touch, luxury detailer. You can't be both. The guys who try to serve everyone end up competing on price with automated car washes, and they end up losing. Secondly, they document their process from day one. The reason most detailing businesses can never hire is that everything lives in the owner's head. When you write down your process, your product ratios, your step sequence, your quality checklist, you can train anybody. That's how you go from 1 van to 4 without losing quality. Third, reoccurring revenue before one-offs. Every new client should be pitched the maintenance plan before a single appointment is booked. Your reoccurring base is the foundation. Everything else, upside. Because here's the thing about this business, and honestly, about most service businesses like it. The value isn't any single car you wash. The value is in the relationship you build every 2 weeks in someone's driveway. That relationship is what makes a real business instead of just a hustle. If you're watching this and thinking about starting something like this, the barrier to entry is genuinely super low. A used van, a decent pressure washer, basic supplies. You're in business for under $3,000. The hard part is not starting. The hard part is making the mental shift from doing the work to building the system. And if you're not starting a business, if you're here because you want to understand how these things actually work, stick around. Because next time we're looking at a guy who took one of the most unglamorous businesses in America, applied a single operational insight he stole from McDonald's, and turned it into a $600 million empire. He drove a pickup truck, he picked up junk, and he built a franchise now running in over 200 cities. Subscribe so you don't miss it, and I'll see you next week.